I released a short yesterday that seemed to get quite a lot of interest, and I thought it was really interesting to sort of start going down this sonic experimentation route. I want to do more with that, and in this particular video I thought I'd carry on that theme. If you didn't happen to see it, basically what I did is got one of the snares from my Lo-Fi Drums Volume 6 pack and I resampled it 16 times. Each time I resampled it I used vinyl sim, and the results ended up being pretty crazy. So I'll go along quickly from 1 to 16. I think for me as a lo-fi hip-hop and hip-hop producer, those four sound actually pretty nice and usable. Then things start to get a little bit crazy. So 5 to 8. I think 5 and 6 still are hanging in there as usable for me. Then when we get to the next row, 9 to 12, we start to get this kind of weird note underneath it. And 13 to 16 are very much the same but more intense. And we get like an almost tom sound, like someone mentioned in the comments for that short. I'm sure there's things that could be done with that sound. I can't particularly think of a use for it myself without further treatment. But yeah, it's certainly an interesting topic. And what I thought I'd do today is kind of extend that. And what I'd like to do is make a drum loop and then resample the drum loop. I would have actually chosen to do that if I could, but with it being a short, obviously I didn't have much time, so I just used the snare. So I'm going to grab some drums from my packs, and I'm actually going to go and use Lo-Fi Drums Volume 5 because I've been using 6 so much recently that I thought I'd just have a little break. So we'll go to hats. All the links to these packs are in the description. They really support what I'm doing here, guys. So I'd appreciate it if you went and took a look after this video is finished. Okay, we'll grab a snare as well. It doesn't really matter too much what the sounds are for this particular experiment. So I could either resample that to a pad, or I could do it in a pattern and then resample the pattern to a pad. Just for the sake of ease, I'm going to go for a straight resample to the pads. So I'll turn off my compressors. You can see there on bus 3 and 4. I'm going to turn those off and we'll do resample. I think I could probably turn this up a bit as well now. Okay, so we've got something resampled here. Let's see if it loops nicely. And yeah, that's close enough. So we'll delete these 3 sounds now. And we'll move this to pad 1. So shift and 5, that's exchange. And guys, I've got to say, having shift working again is so good. It feels amazing just being able to do these operations without having to think about it too much. So there we go. We've got that drum loop. And for this one, I was tempted to do 404 vinyl sim again, but maybe we should try something different. I'll go for lo-fi. So we'll do lo-fi. Maybe we'll bring the tone down a little bit. Let's have a listen to the type. And the pre-filter. Okay, I think that has the potential to get really grimy by the 16th pad, so let's go with that setup. So I'm going to use this setup every single time I resample. 5 for filter, 7 for lo-fi type, and -15 for tone. If I press the value wheel, those are the settings I've got underneath as well. Cutoff is 3150, balance 45 to 55, and a level 100. So if you wanted to copy those settings, by all means go ahead. And we'll do our first resample. So resample, 2, and let's get this recorded. And yeah, we're probably not going to get that perfect loop every time. I can do that on the last pad if I want to. We'll see what happens with the sound. So this should be the same loop now with that effect applied compared to 1. Definitely sounds a bit quieter, that, so we might be in danger of this getting quieter and quieter. We might be able to do something about that at the end. But let's go ahead and do that again, I guess. So resample. Damn, that's got gate on, so we're going to have to do that again. And yeah, I'll just turn loop off for now. Okay, that's sounding really distorted already. And let's do one more. And there we go. So we've done the first 4 now. We've gone from this. Pretty clean sounding drum loop to this already. So I'll go ahead and do the next 4 nice and quick. Okay, so that's the next row done. Now we're starting to get into that territory of things becoming a bit more abstract. So we've gone from 5 here. And now to 8. Interesting to hear there that things are starting to really lose their definition and it's just becoming more of like a rhythm, which is pretty cool. So again, I'll go ahead, do another row, and we'll see where we get to with the next row. I think this is going to be very degraded by 16. We're only halfway there right now, and already things are starting to get very grimy. That's another 4 done. If you did want to do this quicker, by the way, you could actually stack all the MFX. So we could go to MFX settings and have bus 1 and 2 both with this effect on, and 3 and 4 as well if we wanted to go 4 at a time. But it's quite fun doing it this manual way. So I think it's a good time now to share the difference between 1 and 12. So 1 again, just quickly. And 12 now sounds like this. It's really interesting that it's really taken the kind of pronunciation off the snare, but the kick's still quite punchy, even though it's changed the sort of sound of it. But yeah, we'll carry on. We'll do the final row and see how we get on with this. Okay, so the final row is done, 13 to 16. The only real difference I can hear there, again, is just the snare sort of becoming lower and lower in the mix. It seems like that lo-fi MFX that we've put on, that seems to be really latching onto that frequency of the sample, of the drum loop, and really degrading it quite heavily. And to be honest, I was expecting this to sound a lot more unpleasant by the time we got to this point, but it actually sounds pretty nice. There's a really nice like texture to it. I love the sound of that kick as well. It's got that real kind of synthy kind of sound to it. So you could even just take that little kick or that little sound and use that in something. And I think finally the only thing that I want to do now is add those compressors that I always have on bus 3 and 4. So if I go to my MFX settings, I have compression and then 303 vinyl sim, which is also doing compression as well. So we'll pop those on. Might have to turn this down a little bit. That sounds pretty naughty, that. I think there's something in that, definitely. It could be used either underneath a kind of more upbeat kind of dancey track or more up-tempo track. Something that could lurk in the background and have other drums over the top of it, for example. But yeah, really interesting stuff. I mean, you can do so many crazy things like this with the SP, and that's just one effect of the sort of 20-odd that we have in this machine. And if you want to see more stuff like this, please let me know in the comments. If you've got any ideas for particular effects that you think could be fun. I think certain notes from instruments as well could be fun for another idea for a video. So yeah, I thought that would just be quite interesting to share. That was a drum loop made with my drum packs. Check out the links in the description. And I've resampled it 16 times with the lo-fi MFX. And yeah, we went from something like this to something like this. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you again in another video very, very soon.